Hi, Black. It's Good News Planet here with Chloé Temtchine. Hi, Chloe. How are you?
So far, so good. That's quite a question.
That's quite a question for a young lady who has had some, I guess, health concerns over some period of time that she has worked through, worked on, continue to work on, and living with, and singing beautifully, and very pleasant. And I'm so excited to talk to her. How are you today?
How am I today? That's the best question is today, because that's as far as I can get. I always say it's like everybody's like, what are you doing in a month? And I always say, no, 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 no. It's right now is all I can think about. Thank God, I am doing well. I can breathe. As I say, I'm breathing with someone else's lungs. So I'm doing twice as well as I could be doing.
All
Very
right.
happy to be alive.
And what happened to you, I guess, what was it, 2013, some years ago? You had uh, a situation that occurred to you, right, in your body?
Yes. So this actually started way before this started in 2008. And I'm a performer, I'm a musician, and I was getting worse and worse and worse. By the time I was getting to the stage, I couldn't breathe. Had symptoms of coughing and, flu symptoms and shortness of breath. And it was just sort of just constant symptoms that were appearing. Doctor, 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 doctor. Nobody had any idea what was going on. And bam, 2013 hit, and I was in heart failure. My heart was 3 times its normal size, and I was in the ER, and they diagnosed me with severe pulmonary hypertension and pulmonary Veno occlusive disease, this crazy thing that very few people have heard of, for which life expectancy for that is like 5 minutes, as I say. So that was pretty dramatic. So 2013 was when it all hit for the first time, and I was officially diagnosed. Then it was years of being on oxygen and trying to stay alive, which was not a given because obviously life expectancy for PH is 2.8 years. So that was a tricky thing. Did everything I could in terms of working at remaining alive and have a lot of faith. And a miracle kicked in, everything kicked in to keep me alive. And then in 2020 is when all hell broke loose yet again, and I was faced with death in a very, very serious way. And that's when the lung transplant happened. And I don't know how much you want me to get into all this because the story is just, it's long, but those are sort of the main spots, the main bullet points of my life.
Well, the good news is we are talking, and we are talking right now.
Exactly. That
And
alone.
and life is a matter of the now and the moment, and it's as some people say, it is the moment for the rest of your life. It's your
That's
first
all
moment,
it is.
right?
That's
Is that
all it
what you
is.
say? Is that what you think and feel?
To say that again, what I think and feel, I miss.
Do you think so? You obviously think this way. You think
I
that right
sure
now,
do.
this conversation with us right now is your first conversation.
This is my this is my life. It's what I wrote about in my song Someday. There is no someday, and it's all happening now. And it's this sort of cliche, of course, thing to think, but when you really are faced with death, you're lying there thinking you're going to drop dead. You really think about the fact that, my goodness, what have I been waiting for to live my life? My life is now. This is it. So to really kind of wake up and live it, and that's so it's advice I give myself. I'm giving myself constantly because we forget.
Well, this is what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna play. I think it's Sunday and Rise. You have a couple of wonderful. This girl can sing, and I'd like to play them if I can figure out this technology. And after that, I'd like to. We're involved with Peace, the International Day of Peace, for many many years, and I asked a lot of people, what does peace mean for them? So after we play some of your songs, I'm going to ask you, what does peace mean to you? All right, now let me
Okay,
take this section and I want to put it in another bigger show. So
think about it.
here we go. I'm gonna play this. Let's see if I can get to you performing. Let's see what happens here.
Okay. Oh, I have to think about peace now.
Share the screen, uh, and this is let's start. Well, we're gonna have here. You Save Me, and I love this song. Chloe, go for it.
Yeah.
Can you
Wow.
see it?
Look at that. I'm being quiet for myself.
Okay. That's that girl, Chloe. All right, that's cool stuff. One more. This is our lucky day. This is our lucky day.
Oh, another one.
Hands.
Seconds on the clock, time is all I need. The record party we been, we're all the same in the end. It's not how far we fall, it's how high we climb. I stand up when I get knocked down. Swing back, this is my ground. I stand up, get off, make it out alive. See it better with the lights out. Take it back, shut me down. Before the rock falls, higher I rise. I'm rise. Strong enough for every punch that's come my way. And these scars, they make me who I am today. I used to say my best for later, that I was never lost greater. It's not how far we fall, it's how high we rise. It's not how far we fall, it's how high we rise. I stand up when I get knocked down. Fight back, this is my ground. Stand up, get up, make it out alive. I see it better with my lights out. Take it back, shut me down. The farther I fall, higher I rise. I'm the rise. I'm the rise. Running out of breath when I learn to breathe. 20 seconds on the clock, and time is all I need. I stand up when I get knocked down. Fight back, this is my ground. Stand up, get off, make it alive. I see it better with the lights out. Take it back, shine me down. The farther I fall, higher I rise. I stand up when I get knocked down. Fight back, this is my ground. Stand up, get off, make it alive. See it better with the lights out. Take it back, shine me down. The farther I fall, higher I rise. Oh, the farther I fall, higher I rise. The farther I fall, higher I rise.
Chloe, all right.
Ooh, who was
Hot
that?
stuff. All right, congratulations. That's wonderful.
Oh, goodness. Thank you. Well, Steve Martin, my oxygen tank, served as many things.
Oh,
Breathing, drums, he was great. I'm glad not to have him, but he served his purpose for sure.
that Steve Martin gets around. Usually he has an arrow through his head, or if you know the Steve Martin.
The other Steve Martin. The other Steve Martin met this Steve Martin, and it was a big moment. It was a wonderful moment when they met.
Is that right? How did that come about?
It was actually randomly at a Vanity Fair party. But when my Steve Martin met the other, of course, mine is the real one, and the other one's not the real one. The other Steve Martin.
Say the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he was so sweet and said that he was honored to have been named after a tank. So there you have it.
Seems to make sense to me. So
Wonderful man.
I'm crazy about
Yeah.
him. I could watch his movies all day, all night,
he's
for
great.
weeks on end. And
He's
so, well, congratulations. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful work. you know, and wonderful attitude on life, and you're so life affirming, I will say, and that's good news. And I mentioned to you, you know, we have this Peace Day outreach that we do, and we've been doing it for many years. And I'd like to ask you, for you, what does peace mean? What's peace for you?
It's funny. I was thinking about such a big question. I was thinking about it while I didn't have an answer when you first started, and then you all of a sudden played "You Saved Me," and I thought, oh my goodness, you know, peace could mean so many things at so many different times in our lives, of course. And at this time in my life, personally, it means "You saved me," which is that I have an incredible faith in God. Not everybody does, of course, but I think that for me, going through all of this, believing in something greater than myself and trusting in that has been my sense of peace. Truthfully, I think that it's so overwhelming to be told that you're going to die. And, you know, it's exactly what I was told this last time, that, you know, I was on ECMO, I was on life support, I had had a heart attack, I'd been in a coma, and it was really only a matter of time. The actual machine, ECMO, as much as it keeps you alive, it also kills you slowly, although not that slowly. And it was a matter of days. And when you're in that, strangely enough, you think that you would be so not in peace, but all of a sudden I kind of gave myself up to God, to something greater, and trusted. And I thought, all right, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die, you know, and if lungs are going to come in, they're going to come in. And once I sort of gave up this need to sort of, it has to be, I just gave it all up and I just put it in the hands of something greater. It was like this overwhelming sense of peace came over me. So that's what it is for me at this time in my life. I don't think of peace in the greater sense. I don't think of the world. I think very selfishly right now because I've been through this. I have just gone through this so recently. So I think that's what it means to me right now, is really trusting in something greater and letting that take over when you can't necessarily do it yourself.
Well, that's I say a women. So
Women.
And I've been saying that since I was a little boy. And so everybody, we're all together, and even Steve Martin, he's involved as well.
Oh, for sure. Although hopefully never again. Only the man version can be involved now, you know?
There you go. So now let's take a moment about, so now the future. Where are we going here? Where do you want to be?
Well, we hope to be going in the right direction. God willing, everything keeps going well. And if health continues to go well, it's really just to continue what I'm doing, which is to continue to make music as I always have, and to continue Super Brave Kids, which is a series I started before all this craziness happened, when I basically interview kids who are living with chronic illness. And the idea is to have them share with the world all the lessons they've learned along the way. This stemmed from a tour I created called the Smile Tour, which was all before all this COVID madness. And I was visiting hospitals throughout the United States, and I was performing for all these kids. And it's dedicated to Humaira Bodania, who's an 8-year-old girl who was very, very connected to, who died from pulmonary hypertension. She inspired this whole tour. And I would go perform for these kids in these hospitals. And then when the singing was done, I'd sit there with them on the bed and we'd talk and talk and talk and talk. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, like these kids know everything about life. Are you kidding me? You know, because of all the things they'd been through. So that inspired my wanting to actually interview them. And then the Corona thing happened and it worked out because I was able to do this via Zoom. So that started and got me completely like engulfed in this world of kids. And that is something I'm continuing now and hope to make bigger and bigger and bigger and continue to do this. And it's so wonderful because you think it would be something which I was scared of. I was like, oh, this might be very depressing to talk about all these terrible things and health and with all these young kids. And it turns out it's the polar opposite. It couldn't be less depressing. It's so wonderful. These kids who are going through so much have the biggest smiles on their face. They're the most appreciative people in the world. And it's just been so uplifting just personally to do this. So that's a big thing that I'm working on right now. So I'd say music, that, rebuilding my voice. I have a paralyzed vocal cord. So just getting myself back to where I can perform again, working my lungs. I'm learning how to breathe with somebody else's lungs, which is a whole other thing. It's absolutely incredible. and just trying to sort of build on what I started. But also, I have no idea is the answer. I really don't know. I think that when something like this happens, it shakes you up, and you, in a big way, you continue on with what you think you were doing, but then is that really what you're doing? I don't know. So I'm letting other things come in and kind of seeing where life takes me at this point. So the answer is I don't really know, but I'm continuing what I started for now.
You're doing fantastic. You are a hero, and
Thank you, my goodness.
you're really a true a true wonderful soul on Mother Earth, and all this. And instead of, you know, why me, that somebody could very easily fall into at times of difficulty, and sometimes me when I stub my toe.
Right. Well, when I stub my toe, it's really bad. I was talking about this the other day. I'm like, you know, I've been on ECMO, which hurts a lot. And there I am stubbing my toe, or I had a paper cut the other day. I was like, that really hurts. You know, you'd think with everything I'd been through that the paper cut would be fine, but it's actually quite painful. So I get it. Yeah.
In your situation, me, I should not. I don't have a painful situation. I just stub it like a little baby boy. Oh, so I go to the doctor and say, I stub my toe. No,
I know that can hurt. I do agree, that can hurt, surprisingly, you know?
It's really more of a commentary about, you know, it's a big world, and it's a wonderful world, and there's so much good news in the world, and so much love and peace and harmony, and we just need to be in a daily basis, each and every one of us, in love, one with ourselves, and it's so important because that helps us love anybody else and be there for other people. So it's all good news. You're doing a beautiful thing. You have websites, and how do people follow you?
I do. I'm a terrible promoter of myself. I'm like, nobody look for me anywhere. And I also have the most complicated name, so good luck finding me, but it's my name, basically everything / my name. It's YouTube / Chloé Temtchine, Facebook / Chloé Temtchine, ChloéTemtchine.com. It's just my name. All of the things are my name. Ooh, my light just went out. Light, I'll switch it. Forgive me as we relight. Oh my goodness, vanity. There we are. We're relit.
In television, it's a helpful thing.
I'm my own engineer today and every day.
It's all good. Well, Chloé, thanks so much for taking some time to talk with us. You're really special, and I've truly enjoyed it. And we'll put some of your music out there, and wherever we can help support your love, I guess is what it is.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. The one thing I forgot to mention is the foundation, Chloé Temtchine Foundation, which now, of course, I'm promoting myself, but this is actually a foundation I created to help support this tour, the Smile Tour, and these kids' interviews and everything that we do with Super Brave Kids. And it's superbravekids.com to find out more about all of this, all of these kids' interviews we're doing, which are very exciting. So that's it. It's my final promotion of the day.
All right, well, thanks so much.
Thank you, Paul.
Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you too.
Take care. Bye-bye.